Tabo's first day at his new school was going nothing like he'd imagined. As he walked through the schoolyard, a group of boys immediately started gawking at his feet. "Hey, look at this guy's feet," one boy said, wide-eyed. "Have you ever seen such big feet before?" Another boy chimed in, "And his toes. They're so far apart. It's like he's never worn shoes in his life." Tabo's face flushed. He tried to hide his feet, crossing one on top of the other, and leaned against the wall, half wishing it would just swallow him up right there. "So this is the city my dad told me about. I thought people here had good manners. This place is nothing like my village in the mountains," he thought. "Hey friends, please bless me with a like, and a subscription below, thank you." Then one of the boys smirked. "So, where are you from, village boy?" "I'm from Maseru," Thabo replied softly. "Maseru? Where on earth is that?" another boy sneered. Thabo, standing his ground, replied, "It's a big village on top of a big mountain." "Oh, mountain boy," one of the boys teased. "No wonder you have such big feet." Another one added, "Do all the boys in the mountains have such deep voices?" Thabo clenched his lips, cheeks burning, and resisted the urge to say anything. Just then, the school bell rang, and the boys scattered, leaving Thabo alone, to sigh with relief. "Thank goodness," he thought. He followed some boys around his height to a classroom, hoping to blend in. Inside, the teacher raised her eyebrows. "Who are you?" "My name is Thabo Jomo, madam. My father wrote a letter about me joining here." The teacher squinted. "I never got any letter." "Which grade are you here for?" "Standard 1, madam," Thabo replied, standing a little straighter. The class erupted in whispers and giggles, and the teacher had to shush them, before directing Thabo down the hall, to Standard 1. But when Thabo entered, the girls burst out laughing. He towered over every other kid. "Oh, you must be Thabo," the teacher said with a kind but surprised smile. "Go sit at the back, there are some big seats over there." Thabo shuffled to his seat, accidentally knocking a few books off a classmate's desk. The class laughed even louder, and he quickly sat down, squeezing into the too small chair, his knees nearly touching his chest. He stared down at his desk, trying to disappear. The teacher began asking questions, and every time, the other kids shot their hands up, shouting answers. Thabo was amazed. How can they know so much already? In my village, kids this young aren't even in school yet, he thought. Thabo, I haven't seen you answer any questions. Let's try an easy one. What is 10 minus 6? The teacher asked, smiling. Thabo froze. He stared at the wall, trying to solve it in his head. Finally, he started scratching his feet nervously. The class burst into laughter again, and another student called out, "It's 4, madam." The bell for break finally rang, and Thabo felt a wave of relief. He was thirsty, and asked one of the boys where he could get some water. The boy pointed him to the tap, but when Thabo reached it, he was surprised. He had never seen a tap before, and had no idea how to work it. He scratched his head, looking around. Luckily, another boy came up, opened it for him, and introduced himself. "I'm Bombo. We're neighbors. I can walk with you after school, if you'd like." Thabo smiled gratefully. "Thank you," he said, feeling a tiny bit better. As he stood by the wall, he watched some kids play catch, laughing and tossing the ball back and forth. Bombo called out, "Hey, Thabo. Want to join?" He tossed the ball to Thabo, who leaped to catch it but missed completely, falling backward instead. Thabo had never played ball in his life. One boy snickered, "Oh my god, you can't even catch. I thought village boys would know how to at least catch a ball." Bombo, who was watching, immediately jumped in, "Hey, don't be rude. Thabo is from the mountains. Do you know how far a ball would roll down if they tried to play there?" Thabo was grateful that Bombo was sticking up for him. On their way home, Bombo tried teaching Thabo how to catch a ball. He picked it up quickly, even catching the ball on his first try. As they walked, Bombo asked Thabo about the games they played in the mountains. Thabo smiled, "Well, we have stick fights, throw stones at distant trees, and birds always hitting our targets. Bombo laughed, and tried to throw a stone at a distant tree, but failed miserably. Thabo picked it up and casually hit the tree with a single throw. Bombo was amazed. The next day was sports day at school, and Thabo leaned against a wall, watching the students playing different games. Bimbo saw him and threw the ball his way. This time, Thabo caught it smoothly, and the boys let him join the game. When the bell rang, it was time for football. The boys began passing the ball to each other, while Thabo stood frozen, in the middle of the field, bewildered. When someone passed him the ball, everyone yelled, "Kick it!" Thabo tried but missed so badly, he ended up on the ground, and the boys laughed hysterically. "Why don't you go play with the girls?" one of them sneered. Thabo's face turned red, as he blinked back tears, wishing he could vanish. "I hate these boys and this school," he thought. "I'm never coming back." Just then, the teacher called, "Thabo, join the running team." He didn't move, even when she yelled a second time, and asked Bombo to help him over. As the two boys walked in silence, Bombo said, "Football, it's an easy sport." Thabo muttered, "Easy for you to say, town boy. I hate this school, and everyone in it, even you, Bombo." Frustrated, Thabo added, "This is the last time you'll see me here." At the running area, Thabo angrily joined a race, only to realize, too late, that he'd accidentally joined the girls' race. When he crossed the finish line first, the boys laughed. "Oh, so you're good at beating the girls, huh?" The teacher quickly had him line up with the boys instead, and when the race started, Thabo found himself way ahead of everyone else. At the finish line, the boys were stunned. "Wow, you're fast like a bullet," they marveled. Thabo shrugged and grinned. "It's just how we are in the mountains, we chase animals all day. It's what we do." Bombo urged him to join the running team for an upcoming competition, but Thabo refused, still hurt by the earlier teasing. On the way home, Bombo tried teaching him football, but Thabo stayed guarded, convinced it was another way for the boys to mock him. The following day, the boys asked Thabo to show them some mountain sports, so he reluctantly demonstrated his stick fighting skills. One by one, the boys tried to take him on, but ended up flat on their backs. Even the biggest boy was left in the dirt, amazed, and now looking at Thabo with new respect. Competition day arrived, and the school's running team was one person short. The boys whispered about asking Thabo, but no one dared. Bombo, the team captain, was especially sad, feeling let down by his friend. He took a quiet walk, passing Thabo without a word, silently wishing he'd join. Seeing Bombo's disappointment, Thabo finally realized how much his friend had been rooting for him. He ran after him and agreed to join the team. At the race, Thabo lined up, heart pounding. "On your marks," the teacher yelled. "Get set, go." Thabo bolted forward, keeping pace with the fastest runner, and then, in a final burst of speed, crossed the finish line first. The crowd erupted, cheering wildly, they had never seen such speed. His schoolmates lifted him up, shouting in amazement at his lightning speed. From that day on, Thabo was no longer an outsider. He joined in on games, did well in his classes, and finally felt like he belonged. And Bombo, proud to have helped his friend, stayed by his side every step of the way.